So a lot has happened for me the past few weeks here. But the same day I started working was the day that the world was introduced to this game called Apex Legends. I personally didn't hear about it until the next day and didn't start playing it until that following Wednesday. So I'm about 2 days late on that. Here's the thing. I've never been a fan of Battle Royale games before. So for me, starting to play this, I'm coming in with fresh new eyes, which led me to want to make this review. Somebody kind of as an outside looking in, a newcomer, a totally fresh perspective. So anyone who's never played a BR, never been interested, if you're like me, looking at this game and figured you'd give it a shot, you may value this opinion. Everyone else, you could pretty much just dismiss me at this point. In the background, you're going to see some raw gameplay of my very first game in Apex Legends, or very first game as a Battle Royale, period. So, enjoy that. I'm not going to edit over it, so that way you guys get to see just how much I suck at this. So, in case you've been living under a rock, let's go over some of the basics. If you are not a fan of competitive PvP, then you are not going to like this game. Unless you're somebody like me who's looking to dip their toe in and hopefully get good, in which case I say welcome. That's exactly what I'm attempting to do. This is obviously a battle royale game, however, there is no solo queuing. There will be 20 teams of 3. It's highly tactical with some special abilities per character. I can overlook the goofiness that's in this game because of the gameplay. That has just been phenomenal. Each character has their own special perks and abilities. Everything from zip lines and shields to supply drops and airstrikes. Being able to mix and match these well with your teammates is gonna obviously increase your chances of victory. It's good to have a strong second and a good third in case your main character is selected by some random you happen to team up with. And of course, all weapons are found on the field of battle. With that being said, you're also going to find upgrades, attachments, body shields, backpacks. All of this stuff usually comes in different tiers, 1 through 4. And last but certainly not least is the fact that you can respawn downed teammates here. Meaning, if you haven't noticed, if somebody was to get knocked down but not finished off, you can pick them back up. Even if they were to get finished off, you could take them to these respawn points. Granted, you get to their, I'm gonna call it a coffin, retrieve their tag, take it to the respawn point within the allotted time, they can come back into the game. They're not gonna have any of their weapons and stuff though. They'd have to be, starting from scratch, but they're back into the fight. We've actually saved a couple games that way. You could possibly come back from this. Now, being the nooblet that I am, first thing I did when I got in here was look around at what the game has to offer. I mean, I do that with every new game I play, but that's besides the point. Having the things that I can eventually unlock, put on display for me, gives me something to work for. Mind you, there isn't too much I found that I like. However, the things that I did find I wanted, I really want. So, everything in this game can be earned in game. There is no pay to win at all. Like, everything that you can buy is cosmetic. Everything that you can earn is cosmetic. The only things that you can really pay for that's functionally different are 2 unlockable characters. Now, I was able to get 3,000 of the 12,000 points needed to unlock these characters after half a day of gameplay. And I suck at this game. It's not to say that the characters that are available now suck ass. They're actually built very, very well. If I can't create my own character, then I tend to gravitate to the character's personality first. Closely after that, I go for functionality. This is the first game that I've ever mained a female, and then I have another female as my secondary. I almost made Lifeline my main on the strength of her personality and looks alone. Hell, I admit it right now. When I heard her speak, that's what made me melt. Like, it always happens this way too. I find myself gravitate to a female only to find out that she's Jamaican. This also goes for IRL. Look, I'm getting off track here. After her, I checked out Bangalore. Now, her functionality coupled with her personality is what pushed her to the main spot. Her attitude pretty much matches mine, and then her skill set just fits my playstyle beautifully. Looking at her finishers afterwards, that was just perfection. #1 draft pick right there. And that's if I manage to get hands on her. You know, with the rando selecting your main character. Speaking of randos, communication is a big thing on this game because there's no solo play. There's always a team of 3, however, there's not always a microphone. Thankfully, Respawn Entertainment, or RE, has thought of this very situation and has added the marking system, or ping as I tend to call it. This allows you to convey a lot of information just by pinging it, and the characters talk to each other. Keeps the players updated on everything that's going on, which is also great because sometimes people don't tell you they're being shot. They just grunt and scream and panic. So, you know, if they decide or just happen to go down, this gives you an opportunity to at least try to come up with a plan and react if you're capable of doing so and have the tools to do it. The tool selection in this game is nice. You have your basic big guns, which are okay to start with. Then you can find your big boy toys later on as you hunt for your manslayers. That's just what I tend to call them. There are a lot of guns to find in this game, and though they can make getting weapons at the start of a match a bit kinder, it's not terribly hard to find better weapons to use later on. If you're a close quarters combat main or shotgun ape, you have a number of shotties you could use, submachine guns also. Mid-rangers have a nice varieties of semi and fully auto weapons to select from. Snipers have it a bit rough though, but you still have a decent selection of scout rifles and sniper rifles. However, once you find a decent or really good scope that fits you, I instantly hate your guts, and you can enjoy your nest. Understanding your weapons and memorizing everything can be a bit of a challenge. Some weapons seem to be a little more inconsistent, so landing a main weapon isn't as simple as it sounds. Ammo can also become an issue, as there are several different types to keep track of amidst the chaos, although this is made a bit more simpler due to the color coding system that they have. However, what always seems to confuses me is the heavy ammo and the energy ammo, because they're almost a similar shade of green. Maybe I'm just colorblind to a certain point, but that's what always mixes me up when I'm out here. This forces me to slow down and take a double take to make sure I'm picking up the right stuff. Melees are more of a get off me mechanic in this game. It does 30 points of damage, yeah, but that pushback up from it is ridiculous. I've actually tried to knock players off the supply ship with this move, only to get shot in the back, but it was all in the name of science. Even still, I feel like it should be able to at least kill a downed player with like 2 hits, but instead it takes like 4 to 5 melee hits to kill someone who's bleeding out. At first I was complaining about someone lagging to stay alive, only to realize this is an in-game mechanic. Not really a fan of it myself. You know, now that you mentioned lag, there's not much connection issues here, although when there is, you definitely feel it. When I first started playing, the biggest issues I've run into was just at the start of a match, you would basically run in slow motion. Running was the equivalent to walking. Walking was pretty much standing still. This would always clear up after a while, but starting out a match like that is one of the worst things that can happen. Now it's, you know, since there's more people starting to play the game, it's getting to the point where there's disconnects mid-match or even at the end of a match. Now, you know, of course it's few and far between over here on PS4, but when it happens, again, you feel it, it's frustrating. People are really going after those wins, and to have that happen so close to a victory really sucks. Overall, I can't say this is a bad game. I find myself enjoying it more and more as time goes on. I mean, once I found me a good, solid team, I feel I'll be able to build my stats to a more respectable position and probably get a couple more W's in here. It's just been a great experience. If you haven't tried the game yet, I can only ask, what are you doing? It's free to play. You have nothing to lose. It's on all platforms. Download it, give it a shot. If you don't like it, you could curse me out later and delete it. But you should at least try it, like, now. And those are my thoughts on Apex Legends. If you made it this far into the video, you yourself are a legend, and I can't thank you enough. I can't really stop playing this game. The only thing that's been slowing me down is the fact that I've started working again. So, missing out a lot of time. I've been having some computer issues, or else I would have had this video out Monday, actually. I almost didn't get it out today, but, struggle through, right? We're gonna make it. I'm gonna let this video play out in the background. Unfortunately, when I recorded this, I did not record it with the sound. For some reason, I had that setting off. So I'm just gonna let the music play over it. If you guys wanna, join the live streams of me struggling through, I guess I could start a live stream series called The Road to Get Good. That's what I've been thinking about doing. Let me know in the comments. Tell me what you think. If you haven't tried it yet, give it a shot. Yell at me and tell me what you think. If you have tried it, give me your opinion. So, find me over on Twitch under the same name, RedSW. Find me on Twitter, same thing, RedSW, RedSW01. That's the gamer tag. And I'll try to be live over the weekends. Once I get a more steady stream schedule, I will let you guys know. As it stands right now, I'm usually on midday before I gotta go to work. That being said, let me get this going. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.